Welcome to the Veracity Networks Tutorials channel. This introductory tutorial will cover Veracity Networks' new dashboard for administrative functions. It's not a replacement of the old BroadSoft admin interface. It's an additional one, an alternative one if you'd rather. And it has some good features to it. It, for instance, can let you customize your line keys and soft keys on your Polycom phone. That gets covered in its own tutorial. It tends to bunch information together on one page instead of having it spread out all over the place. That can be very convenient. And it's also got more robust call data reporting. You can, the old system, you could only get 20 records, go back 20 records. Whereas with this system, you can go back much further, but you can only grab 500 records at a time. So if you need something more robust, you might want to talk to your account manager about purchasing the one that's for really high call volume environments. But this one is free, and we're going to start by going to the login, which is login.veracitynetworks.com. Now, when you log in, you're probably going to want to create a bookmark. If you do create the bookmark, be sure and go into the properties and change it, because it'll switch to either login 1 or login 2, depending on which one you happen to catch. You'll want to have your bookmark set to just log in without a number. That way, if we've got one or the other offline for an upgrade or maintenance or something like that, you'll still be able to get to the other one. So we're going to log in. The other thing we're going to cover is the difference between one of your end users logging in and when an administrator logs in. So if one of your end users were to log in, they would come in here and they'd see their own information, but they wouldn't see any group-wide information, and they wouldn't be able to see other users. They would just be able to do things like turn on call forwarding always or do not disturb and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of features in here. But you can see the profile's limited to this one particular agent. They can also go into My Calls and see their call records up to 500 at a time. And there's a utilities section where they can go in and see an enterprise directory if they wanted to. But mainly here in Profile, what they might be doing is changing their password or their voicemail passcode. And that's where you do that here in the Profile tab. Now we're going to log out and log back in as the administrator for this particular enterprise. And we'll start off with some basic navigation. So this is the main part of the dashboard. As you can see, there's a bunch of different tabs. We're in the dashboard tab, but overall we kind of refer to it as the dashboard or the login portal if you'd rather. And if you've got auto attendants, they'll be here on this first one, and you can edit them from here by clicking on their settings, the little gear thing, and making whatever changes you need. This gets covered in a separate tutorial, so I'm not going to go into details. If you've purchased call center functionality, same thing, you can come in and customize it here. Again, this will be covered separately. Your hunt groups, if you've got any, you can come in here and click the settings. You can also go in and see like call records in terms of who else called and whatnot. But mainly what you'll be doing is probably administering your users. When you come in here, as you can see the different users. Now, this is a demo environment, so most of these phones aren't connected. I've only got one that's actually connected. But you can also see all the different agents, and you can go in and make changes, check their call records, go in and change their phone around and so forth. And that gets covered in its own tutorial too, so we're going to just high level over that. In the group profile tab at the top, there's a couple different options, but mainly what you'd be doing in here is setting schedules and holiday schedules. If you even use schedules, that's where you could do it here, and that gets covered in its own tutorial. You can set up departments if you wanted to, and you can manage users from here, but you can manage users just as easily from the dashboard. I'll go ahead and show that to you real quickly. You can just do it through the drop down. You can edit them and so forth here, but we won't go into that much detail in this part. We're just kind of doing a navigation and login tutorial. You can look at group services, utilities and directories. Disaster redirect doesn't really get work. The call details, those where you can go in there and do the 500 record chunks of call details. And then when you're through, you can just log out right here in the top right corner. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.